Right, yeah, carrying on with the Scotland's Gangland. It looks like the Kinahans are involved. This video's just come up. It said Kinahans vow revenge over the two men shot in Spain, Eddie Lyons Jr. and his mate shot in Spain. So the Kinahans are involved. I know they did say that they are involved, but from the last video we did, it didn't seem like they really. And I guess if they weren't involved, they are now. Um, but yeah, let's see what this is saying.
The family of murdered Lyons gang chief Ross Monaghan are insisting the Daniel clan had nothing to do with his murder. It's understood the bitter Glasgow rivals have now put their differences on hold, believing another group is responsible for shooting dead Monaghan and fellow clan chief Eddie Lyons Jr. Spanish detectives continue to hunt the blonde-haired gunman who gunned down the pair on Saturday in Fuengirola, while one Lyons insider said, "The one thing people need to know is the Daniels are not behind this." Meanwhile, the Irish Kinahan cartel have given their backing, pledging we'll get this sorted. Key figures linked to Godfather Daniel Kinahan have passed on their condolences to relatives of the crime bosses who were gunned down on Saturday. A source close to the Lyons clan revealed key Kinahan figures intend to go to the funerals of the murdered duo and have promised support from one of the world's most fearsome crime syndicates. Fugitive Bob Moss, Daniel Kinahan and his dad Christy and brother Christy Jr. are all wanted by American and Irish forces over their leading role in international crime rackets. A £4 million bounty was put on their heads by the US in 2022.
Today, the United States Department of State is pleased to announce a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to the financial disruption of the KTCO or the arrest and convictions of its leaders, Christopher Vincent Kinahan, Daniel Joseph Kinahan, and Christopher Kinahan Jr.
One man who knows the Kinahans well is the Irish Sun crime editor, Stephen Breen.
The Kinahans have been at the heart of one of the most deadliest feuds in Irish history in recent years, and they do have the capabilities and they do have the resources to recruit individuals to wage war against their enemies. On this occasion, there's no question that you do have the Kinahan group have connections across the UK and in Europe, and we saw in the feud between the Kinahans and the Hutch clan, we saw how the Kinahans utilised their resources and brought in people from overseas to kill people in Ireland. So it's very strong possibility that that could happen on this occasion, and entirely feasible that because of their connections that the Kinahan have to criminal groupings in Scotland and England, that their resources could be called upon to wage war against these individuals. Any gangland feud, when you have one or two people killed, it's not the end of the feud, and we've seen that in Ireland. But also in these feuds, there's also the concern that innocent people will be caught up in this, because you have serious criminals involved in organised crime who are willing to go out on the street, willing to go into busy residential areas with high caliber weapons and open fire. So there will be a lot of paranoia, a lot of mistrust, and of course, the authorities will be waiting on when will be the next incident to take place. Now,
while retaliation attacks are highly likely to be carried out, one source revealed Ross was very, very close with the Irish guys, and he had a very close relationship with them. The bodies will be repatriated, and there is talk about a joint funeral, although that is not certain at this stage. Ross obviously did what he did, and the family accept that, but people have been saying some very horrible things. They have to remember Ross was a father and a son. Eddie had only just buried his daughter, and so you can imagine this has hit everyone extremely hard, none more so than his brother Stephen Lyons, who's extremely upset. In a statement last night, Police Scotland insist there was no intelligence linking the murders to the drugs feud here, which is being investigated via their Operation Portalage. The force said the investigation into the fatal shootings in Fuengirola is being carried out by Spanish police. Police Scotland is supporting where requested. We have no officers deployed within Spain. There is currently no intelligence to suggest the deaths of these two men in Spain are linked to the recent criminal attacks in Scotland. Meanwhile, the Foreign Office said we are supporting families of two British men who died in Fuengirola. Dubai-based Ross Miami McGill has been behind a raging war aimed at Edinburgh boss Mark Richardson and the Daniel clan since March. Those attacks sparked misplaced theories that the Monaghan and Lyons murders were an act of revenge by the Daniels. One Lyons source said the family believe there are two possibilities, and one is that it's linked to trouble in Spain. Ross obviously has a lot of business out there, and it could be the people who have ordered the hit have taken advantage of the situation in Scotland. There are other theories who's behind it, but one thing we know for sure, it's got nothing to do with the Daniels or Mark Richardson. But questions were asked about the seeming lack of forensic activity around the crime scene, given the seriousness of the situation. A source explained the Spanish police said the reason for that is because they know who did it, although they have not told the family who they think it is. And last night, Spanish officials claim they have no doubt they will catch the gunman who shot dead the Lyons gang members in the brutal attack in Fuengirola on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's yeah. See, the police might just not want to say nothing because they know the family, and that the family will probably get them before they will. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because someone in the comments said the police are being cagey about linking the two men shot in Spain, Eddie Lyons Jr., to that. And I was thinking, but I mean, it's got to be in it. But then I was thinking, actually, if you had a problem with them, it's the perfect time to do something because people are going to assume it was the Daniels and not you. So it is actually the perfect. Because I was thinking, if you wanted them dead, why would you even bother putting yourself in a position to do it? Because they're in a gang war. You just let it all play out, and the chances are they might get killed anyway. But then, actually, if you really want them gone, it's the perfect time to do it because yeah, people are just going to assume it's the others. But then it could just be it could be just Spanish beef. Like Spain is gangster as fuck. Like I say, everyone dies out there. You don't mess around in Spain. So it could just be some beef from there. Yeah. But then that will be an even bigger war that will break out if the Kinahans take on the Spanish gangs to try and find out who did that, um and that would be some war with them two going at each other. But that's exactly what I said in the first one of this. The Hutch, you got to look up the Kinahans and Hutch feud. The Kinahans just slaughtered them, and it was just it's like the Hutch family had a good go. I'll give them that. They had a good shot at it, but just the amount of money and power that the Kinahans have at the moment. I mean, you see how much power they have is the fact that America. What did he say? 2022. That America put a £5 million on, $5 million on all of their heads. They're still at it. They're still saying, "Oh, we're going to sort this out." Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the Kinahans are something else. They really are. But yeah, maybe it's not there. Maybe it wasn't linked, and just an opportunistic rival took their moment to get them and got them. Maybe. Yeah. Interesting though. Interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens from this. I mean, the whole thing is because also I don't know if anyone else has seen the. I didn't link that into the last video compilation group I did about this because I didn't know whether that was linked or not. But the Scottish man that went missing in Portugal, and then his body turned up. I just thought that I didn't know whether that actually was linked or not, so I didn't include it in the last video we did about this. But yeah, again, well, now it's 100% that the Kinahans are involved. Somehow, but then yeah, it doesn't seem like it was the Daniels that did it then. Well, like I say as well, I've got another video. This wasn't going to be the video I was going to do next about this. I've got a video of the Lyons Daniel feud, even though we did a documentary. But when we did the documentary, I didn't expect it to. I thought I was watching it as in like a history lesson. I didn't realise it was going to become current affairs again. So yeah, I've got a video of the whole Lyons Daniel feud I'm going to do probably next, unless something else pops up. But yeah, so that shooting doesn't seem to be the Daniels, and the Kinahans are going to come in and, I mean, sort it out. Because also I've seen with the Kinahans as well that Chris, it's the dad obviously that put it all together, like got them where they were. And I've seen people, however true it is, you just don't know. But there's an Irish crime, what's it called? It's called crime some or criminal something. Um, but it's a podcast and it's all the Irish crime land, like gangland stuff. But they're saying that the dad, Chrissy Kinahan, or Christy Kinahan, is he was more your businessman type, but I was like Daniel's the gangster. Daniel's a gangster and he likes to be a gangster, and yeah. Whereas I don't think the dad necessarily, obviously he's a gangster and he's a criminal, but I don't think he was quite as yeah, about that life as Daniel is in that regard, because they are honestly, look up the Hutch Kinahan beef. But yeah, I thought I'd throw this one in since it just popped up. But yeah, next one will be the whole feud, unless something else pops up. But yeah, sweet.